Co-Carnage, first impressions review of the game, okay? These are his early thoughts of Crimson Desert. Let's take a look at it. Here we go. It's an apology video at this point? True.
Hi, everybody. Co-Carnage here with a very early and quick thoughts on Crimson Desert.
Oh.
Crimson Desert is a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
And it's combined with a lot of expectations that I think have led to a very interesting situation in terms of reviews, gamers, and all that kind of thing. What we have is a game that is causing all sorts of a stir around the internet. There are people that absolutely love this game.
And you remember whenever the game was about to come out, everybody was saying this is either going to be the best game ever or the worst game ever. Like, the expectations for Crimson Desert were like crazy, crazy, crazy high.
Hundreds of hours into it, including some YouTubers.
Yeah.
There are others that have played this game for 1 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
And stated to their very large audiences that this game is garbage. It's doesn't have a hook.
Oh.
There's no main story, and that it's severely uninteresting.
Yeah.
And the thing is that they're both right. Technically. They're both right.
Yeah.
And that's because this game, like I said, is a very mixed bag. Now, let me start at the beginning.
It's a mixed bag, and inside of the bag, you've got a dead raccoon, you've got a piece of dog shit, and you've got a dildo. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I don't know what that's really supposed to mean, but that's it.
A lot of folks think that Crimson Desert is like a Witcher 3. Or it's an RPG.
That's a cool
bag.
It's
a game that they're expecting to have a hook early, that they're expecting to have a bunch of streamlined systems, levels, stats, experience.
Yeah.
They're wanting the big story in the big RPG. Because frankly, on the surface, that's kind of what this game looks like in some ways.
Well, they just want continuity. They want continuity where it's like there's like a point to the story. Okay, so, Dwayne got drunk. You've got to go get Dwayne. Okay, Martha wants to shoot arrows, okay? Billy lost his goat, okay? There's a evil demon that's inside of on the top of a mountain. There's a fucking, there's a demon in there, and you gotta stop the demon from doing some shit, and then you have to like reflect the sun on the demon and get rid of it. Okay, all right. So now this dude rolled off his fucking chimney, and you've got to go and mow his lawn. All right, good. Now there's a werewolf in the cathedral. You've got to cure the werewolf. Oh, it's a stat check too, by the way. Yeah, the attack that didn't hit you visually, yeah, it still hit you. You're dead now. Fuck you.
And when they played this game, the beginning of the game, the bit that I've played, very tutorially, lots of systems to learn.
Yeah.
Not really much of a story. There is some story and lore stuff going on, but it's not like a traditional, here's the hook kind of thing. It's more of to keep you going through the world.
I don't know what the story is. I know that Cliff was killed by this guy named Muradin. And then he had his neck slit, and then somehow he fucking got resurrected by somebody, and then he was alive again. You didn't read? Well, how is it that I never read, but I know what the story for every other game is?
And the thing that's so interesting about this project is
people said Star Rail story is bad, or is as bad as this. No, I actually think that Honkai Star Rail had a good story. That's my opinion. Maybe I'm gay, but that's what I think.
That is a choice, and that is an okay thing to do. But there's no question that it has caused a huge variance of receptions about this game. It has. I'm approaching this game as an action sandbox, like Valheim.
Oh.
I'm playing this game to explore the world,
Yeah.
to see all the little different things I can do, to explore all the locations. For me, going in with what my expectations were, this game is awesome. So far, I've really enjoyed it. I'm getting new mechanics all the time. I'm discovering things and seeing new locations, and it's been great. I've loved it.
I can see that.
If I was going into this game expecting that Witcher 3 experience or looking for the hook,
I would be
quote
unhappy.
unquote,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have found it by now, and I'd probably be pretty frustrated.
Yeah.
So, I get where people are coming from with that. All of this being said, it is also important to mention that this game does have some what I would just call problems. This game has some problems. Particularly, the control scheme and the ability for the player to manipulate it is a problem.
That's the thing, is like playing the game, the hardest puzzle in the game is figuring out how to interact with the puzzle. Like, there's like for example, the fist is a great example of this. Why the fuck are there like 6 different variations of how you can use the fist? Why are there 4 different keybinds for interaction? Who thought this was a good idea? A retard thought it was a good idea. That's a retard. Retard thought that.
There are some control decisions in this game that I will safely say. How we always say game dev is iterative, where a game will come out and then future games can learn from it.
Yeah.
I feel
This
in
game
some
did
ways
the opposite.
Crimson Desert is a de-iteration.
Yeah, here it is.
I feel like the game dev world as a whole has come up with much better ways to do what Crimson Desert is trying to do.
Yeah.
And
It made everybody dumber.
Them taking that and
Yeah.
building on it,
Yeah.
they have said, no, we're going to do it our way.
That's right.
And our way is worse.
So, okay, all right. So you've got right here, you have to understand that, okay, you want to see the memory? Okay, put the box on your head. All right, good. Okay, now go to the box menu. No, that's not the inventory menu. I meant the box menu. No, that's the box. That's the secondary box menu. No, you have to go to the memory box menu. Okay, all right, now you're there. Oh, you selected the wrong one. Okay, now you've got to watch this one again. Okay, all right. Now, all right, you want to take the box off now? You can't. You can't take the box off. Wait a minute. Oh, where's your lantern? Didn't you you didn't equip your lantern? Oh, no. It's so retarded. Like, you know who Crimson Desert was designed by? Federal government bureaucrats. It's like accomplishing a task in Crimson Desert is like going through the federal government.
And that kind of sucks. I'm not happy about that.
Yes.
So we are hoping very much that we will see some improvements on that, because I will say one of the first controls you learn in the game is to hold down the right trigger and right button at the same time on your controller. And anyone who's played a video game will tell you that's not a fun thing to do. No, it's not. No, for all sorts of reasons.
Great. So then the controller gameplay sucks even too.
So even if it's a rarely used thing like an Ultimate or something, you don't want your players to have to remember awkward keybinds to do some of your game's biggest stuff. And that's just one thing. There's also
the most important keybind, like your basic attack, you have to hold down shift and then use F12 and then the number pad, number lock. And that's how you have to do your auto attack.
Weird decision making in
you basically got to be Frank Sinatra in order to play the game.
Using the control thing and having to hold control before hitting certain buttons, and then the same interactions or same types of interactions use different hotkeys that you have to use control for. The weapon to sheath your weapon doesn't sheath your bow. You have to use a different hotkey for both.
Yeah, didn't he play on a
lot
piano?
of really weird stuff in this game. I'm not going to lie. So if you're a big control person, that could be a big thing for you. On top of that, the voice acting and writing is really good, but I'm noticing that the animations are very bad, in some cases just not synced up. And also, very little of the voice work is immersed into the world. So you will be talking to somebody outside of a house, and it'll sound like they're right in front of you talking in a room in an office building. And then you'll go inside to a small area, and the people in there sound exactly the same way. where in most games you would get like a bit of a reverb on the outside, or maybe a bit of a reverb on the inside, and then kind of that expansive, less, they don't really have a lot of that in this game. And it makes all the voice acting sound weird, even though it's well voice acted and the dialogue seems to be pretty good. So
it is what it is. The dialogue, what it reminds me of is it reminds me of dialogue. There's a beginning of the dialogue, there's a middle of the dialogue, and then there's an end to it. That's about all I got to say.
So the reason I'm saying this is because there are things in this game that need work. There are things in this game that I would say definitely needed more cook time. And another big thing that's really driving me crazy is the fact that apparently this giant sandbox game doesn't have a good storage system. And on top of that, that control issue bleeds into inventory management because it is not super intuitive to manage your inventory in this game either. So
nothing's intuitive.
Again, that's another issue that I think people need to consider. Now, we do know from the devs that they are working on apparently adding storage. Chat's been saying that. They've also said that they are going to be doing more control stuff. So all that's good. But, I don't have a lot of experience with Pearl Abyss as I didn't play BDO. I don't know if it's going to be 3 days.
They're probably what they're going to do is they're going to add in 3 separate menus. And then there's going to be 2 sub-menus inside of those menus. And then there's going to be a holiday reward structure that you have to log in for 60 days. And then after that, you get a bird mount. You guys excited? Crimson Desert 1.1?
A week or 2 months until we see those changes. So we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, now that we're kind of getting to the end of this, because again, I've only played a few hours. I may make another video after I've played more. I do want to stress there is seemingly some really, really cool stuff in this game. Like really cool stuff. Even though this game does not have your traditional main story, it is not a traditional RPG.
Where is it?
Like, instead of looking at it as an RPG with less, think of it as a sandbox game with more. And from that perspective, I am seeing things and getting glimpses of what I can do in this game that I think are going to be really, really enjoyable.
We're going to find out about that.
And I think that people that can get hooked on this game and really want to explore the world and go everywhere and do everything, dude, you're going to have 100+ hours.
It's like 300.
And you're probably going to really enjoy those hours if you are getting hooked into that main loop. So,
sounds like cope.
That's kind of
it's going to be really good, guys. It's going to get better.
I think that
it gets better after
one of those
75 hours.
Where the haters have good reasons to hate.
They do.
And the lovers have good reasons to love. And what that means is we have this cacophony of confusing reviews and
it's a value judgment. There are some people that don't care about certain aspects of games, and so they don't really it doesn't matter to them what the story is. They care about the combat and the bosses. So that's going to be different than a person who wants to have a story that's transcendent, that's interesting, that's like Witcher 3. And so that's really the issue, is that people play video games for different reasons.
YouTubers,
that's what happens,
saying different things, in some cases completely the opposite. And they're all in some ways kind of right. In some ways. So
it's a really big game.
This is again one of those times where I don't recommend listening to me. I don't recommend listening to reviewers.
You just listen to me.
Watch people play the game and see if it's something that you want to jump into. Because we live in a day and age where you can do that. And frankly, we live in a day and age where you don't need to have somebody tell you how to feel about it.
That's right.
You can get all the information to make your own best educated decision. And this is a perfect example of one of those games to do that on.
I think, honestly, that's what everybody should do for every game. Like, don't let people tell you what it's like. Like, if I want to see if a game's good, I just pull it up on Twitch. I do. I pull it up on Twitch. I watch 3 people play it. And I'm like, this is retarded. I don't want to play this. That's literally it. Like, that's how I make my entire decision.
And anyway, I'm going to go back and play more of it.
That's it.
Thank you for watching Other Thoughts
Play 2 hours and refund it.
See you later.
Oh, that's a good one. Good idea.
Bye-bye.
Great idea. No, I mean, I like Cole a lot. And obviously, like, I agree with his assessment. I do think that the game, a lot of the functions of the game are more problematic. Like yesterday, I'm going to be honest. Like, I actually was in a bad mood yesterday playing the game. Like, straight up. I was tilted. I was annoyed. I was pissed off. I have been dealing with bullshit. Today, I'm just going to log in, and I'm just going to try to play the game and say, fuck it. Like whatever happens, happens. Whatever is. Whatever isn't is not. And whatever does be, he's refreshed. I'm refreshed. Yesterday, I'm trying to remember. There's something else that pissed me off yesterday. I forgot even what it was, but it was definitely out there. Right? Don't force yourself. I'm gonna try not to. And you're gonna play it again? Yeah, well, why not? I always play it a little bit. I want to beat that fucking monkey, right? Beat the fuck out of that monkey. And so that's how I'm playing it. It's awesome. Yeah, like I do try to just. I mean, like again, I just try to have fun, right? It is just a fucking video game to begin with, right?